Afternoon traders, how are we? I was just checking all the tech was working. Yeah, good afternoon. Hope everyone is well. Welcome back. Trader Tom here. As it's the first one of the week, I hope you had a good weekend. Didn't get up to anything too bad. Guys, I am currently in 6 trades. And I entered them all yesterday. So we're going to take a look at all 6 of those to understand why I entered them. So yeah, we're going to start there, guys. We're also going to take a quick look at the news because we've got a lot of US dollar data coming out later. So I'm actually in a couple of US dollar pairs, but I'm in a very nice position where I've taken some profit and, you know, I can only make more profit. So, yeah, we must be aware of this though, guys. Lots of US data coming out later. All right. So if you're in any US dollar pairs, please be aware of that. What else are we going to do? What else? There was loads I wanted to tell you. And then I see live stream go live and then my mind goes blank. Yes, obviously, we are going to take as many of your questions as humanly possible. So we're also going to do that as well, guys. And also just a quick announcement at the start. So my live streams, as you know, guys, you know, the regulars to the show are Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, 12 p.m. GMT. But from now on, guys, I'm only doing Tuesday and Thursday on YouTube on the live stream. And on Wednesdays, if you want to be part of it, I'm doing a mentorship session, right? So it's a group mentorship session. It's part of our VIP Discord. So if you're interested in that, guys, please go check out our Discord channel. If you're wondering where the hell is Tom tomorrow, I haven't disappeared. I'm just doing it in the Discord channel. All right. So, yeah, just a quick announcement there, guys. And then Thursday, I'll be back on YouTube like I am now. I hope that makes sense. I think I made it more complicated than it needs to be. Yeah, anything else I wanted to tell you? No, that's about it for the time being. Like I say, guys, hope you had a good weekend. What did I do? Yes, I had a barbecue, which was very nice. No alcohol again. I'm currently 40 days with no alcohol. Just wanted to share that. I hope you're all giving a slight round of applause. And I also watched Liverpool get beaten by Manchester City. So that was less enjoyable. Barbecue was fun. That game, less so. But Zoboslai's free kick, did you see that? That was a beauty. Right, let's start with these 6 trades that I am in, right? Let me just show you where they all are. So as you know by now, guys, if you're part of my Discord channel, and then I will give you my trade ideas. And in the VIP, what I'm showing you right now, I will give you literally what I entered, entry, stop loss, take profit. And as you can see, guys, I am in 1, 2, if you're wondering what the hell DS1 strategy is, that is our price action indicator strategy. All right. And that typically looks for 1:1.5 or more. That is kicking ass. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 trades. Okay. I am in and I got back into Euro Pound as well. So let's go through them all, guys, right? So let's go through them one by one. Let's start with the US dollar pairs, because as I said, I'm in a really nice situation, right? I can only really make more money, really, okay? So one of the trades, as you saw, was US dollar, Canadian dollar. And why did I take it? So let's start with the daily chart, because as you can see, on the daily chart, we are clearly in a downtrend, right? We broke this low, got lower lows. We just needed to find out when the next high was, right? And it looks like it's here. Now, I didn't know this, but what I did know is that we have a big bearish red engulfing candlestick pattern. I don't give a crap what the name of the candlestick pattern is, but if you look at that candle and I said to you, who's in control, you would say sellers, right? So that was the reason. Downtrend, it had retraced enough, got a nice bearish candle. That was the catalyst for me to start selling. And if you also look at the weekly, guys, right now, last week I didn't really want to sell because we had this bottom wick. But now this week, after this top wick, I'm more inclined to sell because even the weekly candle has a top wick as well. And obviously, if we look at the weekly structure, we're in a downtrend, right? So there was lots of confluence, guys. And, you know, what I'm showing you there is basically confluence. And, you know, there's lots of crappy jargon when it comes to trading, and confluence is one of them, right? But confluence is just reasons to take a trade, right? So I had lots of reasons, I had lots of confluence, right? So daily, weekly tells me what to do in terms of direction. And then H4, right, I got an entry. And this was also in a H4 downtrend. So if we track structure, right, now you're probably thinking at this point, is this is a low for sure. Is this a higher low? And the answer is yes, because this candle, right, the body of the candle breaks all of these highs. So at that point, we are getting higher highs. And that validates that as a higher low, right? So as soon as that level got broke, is that good English? Got broke. Not really, okay? As soon as that level broke, right, and we started coming down here, you can see the body of this candle is the one that actually broke it. And then, you know, and then we saw a retrace into our smart river, which again is part of our price action indicator. Guys, get involved if you want to trade mechanically, simply, and you have a 9-to-5 job. Check out our indicator. And yeah, it's retraced into our river, saw this bearish candle, started selling, stopped well above this high, and took price down to here. Right, so I actually closed and took some profit in here, and I took 70% profit. Now I'm going to leave 30% to run, right, because it's still, you know, it still has room to go into back down to these lows, would be my next target. And this 1.35 thousand psychological level. So we'll see, you know, if the news is bearish for the US dollar, we might see that happen straight away. If not, we might see this happen. Price comes back in. You can see my alarm is in here, right? Because it's these lows in here. So if we get a move back into here, we got the smart river catching up as well, right? I will sell this again. Because if you look at the day chart, right, it's still very much a sell trade. Look at the bearishness of that candle. All right, so that is more bearish than the Chicago Bears. Are Chicago Bears still going? Have we got any Americans in today? Because I know they do franchises. So it was Chicago Bears. It might be Seattle Bears now. I know it's not Seattle Bears because they just won the Super Bowl. Anyway, so yeah, US dollar, Canadian dollar sells. I'm also in US dollar yen sells, right? And this was the DS1 strategy that I spoke about. And this is part of the indicator as well. Now, daily chart, right? We, again, you don't need to be Warren Buffett for this one, but we were in a downtrend, right? And it retraced a lot. Okay, so we broke this level here, you know, we broke these lows in here. I mean, it's a downtrend, right? And then we've retraced and we started selling in here, okay? If we look at the weekly chart as well, now, you know, this is this is the indicator for you, right? Indicator just has mechanical setups and it takes a trade. Because if I was looking at this and I saw this big bullish candle, I would be less inclined to sell it. But the indicator doesn't care. It's mechanical. And look at what this trade's doing so far. However, we are at, this resistance level in here, right? So okay. So we're at that resistance level there. So daily and weekly, and then we got an entry, right? Again, our indicator, once price gets to a certain level, obviously I can't give you all of the magic sauce, it's a paid indicator. But once we get to a certain level and we see a bearish candle, we start selling. All right, selling there, stops there, looking to take price down to there for 1.5. All right, I will move my stop loss to a break even before all the news. So there you go. There's my US dollar pairs. I've still got another 4 trades. Let's just go through them quickly. Right, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, daily chart. Right, so here we go. Downtrend. Right, this is. I'm going to go through them quickly, not just to take your questions or move on to anything else, because let's be honest, understanding trades is the important bit, and this is what we're going to do. But I'm going to do it so quickly that you can see the simplicity of price action and reading facts on a chart. Right? So this is it, right? Daily downtrend, right? Top wicks tells me sellers, right? Then we go to, so I'm looking for sells. Downtrend, bearish wicks at a resistance level, right? Tick, tick, tick. Room to move into, right? More ticks, okay? Weekly chart, right? We've had a bit of a sell-off. We have had, we've got support at this level, but then we got this bearish weekly wick. That tells me we can come back down to these lows. Okay, daily weekly tells me I can sell. I go to the H4, right? And this, guys, is actually an old trade. And I got out of this trade in here. And I've actually done a tutorial on this in the VIP Discord as well. But this is the trade we're looking at here, right? And then I entered. We've got a bearish candle, again, at our smart river. Right, our smart river, price reacts at that bad boy. If you get a bearish candle at that level, right, it's a pretty good entry. Stops above this high here, and I'm looking to take price back down to these lows. So there you go, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. Next one, New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar. Right, if we go to the daily chart, right, we are in a downtrend, right? As soon as we broke those lows, downtrend. Okay, I actually started entering on Friday with this one, actually, right? I actually started entering because of this candle. Okay, right. Then we go to the weekly chart. You can see we've had a bounce off a resistance level. Okay, we've got, things are overextended. That tells me there's room to the downside. Sell, sell, go to the H4 and look for a setup, right? So we had this level here. That was that daily level. And then basically we broke it, right? And this is where we're at. Okay, so we're getting lower highs, lower lows. And like I say, guys, I actually entered this one on Friday at this level. Put my stop loss up here, right? Threatened to hit it, and I'm still in this trade. And the last one, guys, well, let's do Euro Pound as the last one, because I did actually get stopped out of this one. And now I've re-entered. So this was my first trade, this one here. You can see selling here, stop loss here, take profit here, right? We come up and got wicked out. Is there anything more annoying in trading than being wicked out? I'm going to say no, there isn't, which is why I hedge. And if you want information on hedging, again, VIP Discord, there are numerous tutorials. So we got wicked out, but I still like this level, right? So I re-entered, entered here, stop loss up here, looking to take price down to here and get 1:1. And then I'll leave some profit to run, right? So this is my entry. And you're probably thinking, Tom, this is very much in a H4 uptrend. Yes, right? What this really is a daily trend, a daily trade, right? Because if you track structure, we are basically doing that. Lower highs, lower lows, and then these last highs held. And at this level, you know, first of all, we had this bearish candle, and then yesterday's candle, look at that wick rejection, right? So everything's telling me the second bite of this trade is looking pretty good, right? But potentially we can run it all the way back down to here, right? I will let some profit run and trail the stop. So that's what that was really, as a day trade at a daily level. So there you go, guys. That's pretty much it. I'm also in Euro Canadian dollar, but I'm tired of explaining all of my trades, and I would rather take some of your questions. So much so I need a drink. Thirsty work, this live streaming business. Right, let's say hello to a few people. Let's quit. I'm going to quit my jibber jabber. And let's say hello. So, Mike, hi, how are you? Luigi, hi. Max, hi, how are you, mate? Welcome back. Dan Laguna, sorry we couldn't help you out against City. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. It depresses me. Ikram, hi, Tom. Nice to see you. Nice to see you too, Ikram. Hi, Ravi. Okay, Brett's 48 hours without alcohol. So everyone, that's pretty good going. Okay, Mike's back at the gym. Good. Dan's got a question. Or Dan says something really nice. Hey, mate, I really love your stream and enjoy being part of your fan community. Would you mind adding me up on Discord? My username is Daniel Jerry. So... yes. So if you go into our video description, there's so many bloody things I need to remember on YouTube, but the video description, if you go in there and find the Discord link, all you do is click on that, go in, just verify yourself, which is super simple to do. Click it twice and you're in, Daniel. So just do that. Check out the link in the Discord. In the video description that takes you to the Discord. Got there in the end. Charlie wants to look at S&P. Andrea wants to look at pound, US dollar, New Zealand yen. Hello. Right, we're getting lots of questions in now. Right, Beshu, hi. Brian, hi. Okay, right. So, hello, everyone. Where should we start? We did have a question up here. Did we have a question up here? Or am I losing my mind? I lost my mind years ago, guys, so bear with me. Right, let's have a look at the S&P 500. Let's do that, because everything derives from the S&P, the indices, shall we say, right? It has such an impact on everything, right? Because the indices are basically a snapshot of the state of the economy, right? If the indices are going up, the economy is normally in pretty good shape. If it's going down, the shit has hit the fan, right? And let's take a look. So let's do a top-down approach, right? I suggest all of you do this. Now, you can visually see this on the weekly, right? Now, you know, you can see some definite highs and lows. And now, ever since we got to about here, between here and here, the market's become flat, right? It just hasn't moved a great deal in here, right? And that's on the weekly, guys. So what's that? That is so since mid-December, obviously we had Christmas. Not a lot happens over Christmas, but you know, the S&P hasn't done much, has it? Right? You wouldn't say that's super bullish. You wouldn't call it bearish, that's for sure. Right? So there's not much movement there, right? And as for looking at candles and trend, we're just sort of stuck here, really. And this candle isn't telling me much. This candle doesn't tell me much. This candle doesn't. This candle doesn't. Right? There's just a lot of confusion with the indices, right? Trump doesn't help that, does he? Every time Trump opens his mouth, there's some volatility and some, you know, some moves going on. But you get my point there, right? There's not a lot going on. If we go to the daily, right? Again, I would shorten that area. I would say this area here. Not a lot has gone on, right? And it's changed from this uptrend to a downtrend to back at these highs and then lower lows again. So we are getting lower lows here and we're not breaking these highs. So that suggests bearish, right? We are getting lower lows. We are technically in a downtrend on the daily. But let me have another drink, guys. I've got a frog in your throat. But you wouldn't say that's strongly trending, would you? It's not exactly doing this, is it? Right? So it's just difficult to trade at the moment. There is confusion that you can feel in the market. We don't know if it's risk on or risk off, right? 1 minute it's risk off, risk on, risk off, risk on. And that's how it's been going. Now, for me to start seriously looking at the indices for an actual trade, I would need to see a stronger trend, right? Now, whether it does this, right, and then starts trending, okay, I'd be interested in buying. Or, you know, we actually get some moves to the downside. We actually get lower highs, lower lows, right? We get a downtrend. Then I'll be interested in selling and I would aim for down here, right? So it's just, yeah, it's not clear, right? And I think you'd agree. So for me, Charlie Roo, yeah, I you know, I'm not interested in trading this. It's too whipsaw-y like this. It's not strongly trending. So I hope that helps. Right, we've got another question here. Pound US dollar. Andrea, you love a bit of pound US dollar. That is your favorite question every time on the live stream, and I welcome it. I like pound US dollar. Right, guys, before I look at pound US dollar, if I could please ask everyone to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button and smash the like button. Also, guys, please look above my head. If you want access to all of our premium trading education, you want more information, you may want to find if there's something there for you, then go check out our website, right? www.simply-forex.com. All right, go check it out. In the middle there, you can see the Discord. So come join our free Discord channel. It's free. You will also get a free live stream every Sunday with one of our in-house traders who shares all of his trading levels for that week. Right? It's blinding. And that's at 12 p.m. UK. So go join the free Discord. There's loads of other reasons to join it as well. And then finally, guys, if you look above my head, Pepperstone, if you sign up with them using our link, we will give you access to our VIP Discord. and we'll give you a TradingView subscription, and it will support the channel as well. All right, so yeah, go check that promotion out as well. And they're a world-class they're one of the leading brokers in the world, right? We partner with good people. And finally, guys, let me just show you this, because there's 5 days left of this promotion. So let me just show you this very, very quickly. Traders, it's 2026, and if you're here, then I'm sure you want to make this the year where you start trading like a pro and start achieving real consistency and real results. Right now, there is 50% off the Simply Forex complete trading course, jam-packed with almost 20 years of my trading experiences, skills, strategies, and tools. And if that's not enough, once you have completed the course, you will get 2 one-hour mentorship sessions with me, Trader Tom, included in the price. This offer finishes on the 15th of February, so don't delay. Click on the link in the vid description and use the code at checkout. Right, there you go, guys. So check it out. 5 days left. It ends on the 15th. I will not do that promotion again. That's it. So take advantage of it if you want to. Right, pound US dollar. Now, again, let's start with the weekly. Right, because we have hit a key weekly level. Hit it once, big reaction. Hit it again, big reaction. It's now hitting it again. Right, and we've had, bearish candle followed by a not so bearish candle. Right, that bottom wick suggests that buyers are in the market as well. Okay, now for that reason, you could find yourself between a rock and a hard place in here. Okay, so let me show you that on the daily. And before I do, guys, this is clearly an uptrend. So that would suggest we want to buy, but we're at a resistance level. Okay, so again, as I said at the start of the live stream, guys, your job is to find confluence or reasons to take a trade. And if you have things that are contradictory or pulling slightly in the different direction, it doesn't give you the confidence to take the trade. Whereas them trades where everything's pulling in the same direction, weekly looks good for a sell, daily looks good for a sell, H4 looks good for a sell, you're confident in the trade, right? So this is the problem with pound US dollar. If we now go to the day chart, again, we are in an uptrend, right? There is that level there. We were kind of here and then bang, right? We're in an uptrend and we're back at a support level, right? We are. And we've seen very bullish candles, right? We've seen some US dollar weakness. And again, as I explained, I was taking advantage of this US dollar weakness, but on US dollar Canadian dollar and US dollar yen. I preferred them. Now, if you look at this, we're in an uptrend. We've got a really bullish daily candle. There probably is a bit more room to go up into this level. Probably this level here, maybe those bottoms of those candles. Right, so there would be my target, which is still a good, what is that? Which is still a good 50 odd pips. Right, so yeah, I do think there's a bit of room there. But again, you do have to ask yourself, is there enough room before we start hitting into this resistance? Right, and 50 odd pips there is, but then I guess what will really answer that question, is there enough room, would be the H4. Right, now this is tricky because I do not consider this a significant enough high or low. Right, it's not. Okay, so if you just follow the H4 chart, we are basically here, right? We're getting lower highs, lower lows, seeing some bearish candles. So ultimately, H4 is telling us we could sell. But we're in a daily uptrend and we've got a super bullish daily candle. So again, guys, it goes back to that, contradiction that there's an argument to buy, there's an argument to sell. And you really understand that by looking at multiple time frames. You wouldn't understand that. If you just looked at H4, you'd be selling. Right? If you just looked at daily, you'd be buying. So it's imperative that you really look at those time frames and assess all of the data you have. Right? Now, if you're trading H4, even H1, that is necessary. If you're scalping the 5-minute chart, don't worry. Don't look at the daily or the weekly. But you get my point. If you're trading on the H4, even the H1, you do need to understand daily, weekly time frames as well. And pound, there's just not enough here for me. Now, on the daily, like I said, I would take it to this level here. But, if this is the last realistic low, you still have to put your stop loss down here. Then all of a sudden you're buying here. That's your reward. That's your risk. So the trade doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, there you go, Andrea. I need to, it's not clear for me to take a buy or a sell there. Ravi, yes, I agree with you. Before we do, let me just answer this. So Dan Laguna, Tom, if we buy the indicator, do we get the rules of the DS1 strategy with it? Yes. So you get everything you need. If you it's a subscription, right, for the indicator, right? But it's doing wonderfully well. Okay, just go into the Discord, look at the results. But what you get with that is you get access to the indicator, right, and all the strategies that it does. There's about 3 or 4 strategies you get with the indicator, right, including the DS1. And you get a dedicated support group. So there is a room in our Discord dedicated to everything to do with the indicator. And you've also got traders who talk through, because everyone's seeing the same thing. They're like, this is a DS1 setting up, or this is an R50 trade, or this is a D4. These are the different strategies. And they all talk about it and help each other out. So it's a great little community within a community, if you like. So yeah, you get everything, Dan Laguna. So go check it out. I always say to people, look, if do it for a couple of months, I'm sure you will want to stay and keep benefiting from the results. But if you don't, leave, right? No problem. Okay, what we're looking at here, New Zealand yen, Ravi. How are we, Ravi? Let's have a look at New Zealand yen. Yeah, just looking at the daily, it is, right? If you look at the daily, things are not overextended at all, right? We're basically here, right? We're in an uptrend. That even broke that high. So we're getting higher highs, higher lows, right? We're clearly upward trending. And if you look, what indicates to me if things are a little bit overbought or oversold is the smart river, which again is part of the indicator, right? And if we're not a million miles away from here, we're not overextended, because this is the mean of the chart. And just look how price reacts at it. Right? It's no joke, right? It reacts at that level. So daily, yes, Ravi, I really like it. But again, this goes back to looking at multiple time frames, right? So let's go to the weekly. Now, the weekly, super bullish, right? Even really like this candle as well. super bullish candle, broke all these wicks. We are a little bit overextended because, again, if we look at the smart river, we are quite a distance away. So on the weekly uptrend, bullish candle, a little bit overextended. But I think we could still take buys. Now it's the monthly. You're probably thinking, Tom, you know, you're looking at so many time frames, you could almost talk yourself out of a trade. It's not me trying to, and it's not analysis paralysis, right? So if by looking at the daily and the weekly, the trade is crystal clear, right? I buy it, then I will, right? Once obviously I get a retrace and my strategy sets up, I'll buy it, right? But sometimes I'm not sure, right? So realistically, if you're not sure, stay out. But almost, you know, if I look at the monthly, which we're looking at now, it will give me a third opinion. And again, this is not overextended. We're clearly in an uptrend, very big bullish candle, and we broke that last high, right? So everything is supporting a buy, right? So yes, Ravi is the answer. I think we do have a potential buy trade here. If we look at the H4, you can see I've got an alarm in here, right? Because at this point, I would be getting incredible value. And you'll also notice that we've broken a key level here. So does price want to come a little bit lower? Now, the more it comes down, the more value I'm getting, because really my stop loss is going to be down here. So the more it comes into my, you know, think of me as a coiled cobra, and this is a trap. Oh, what an analogy. But yeah, you know, that's what I'm looking for. More it pulls back into here, the more and more I'm interested. So that's what I'm going to be waiting for, Ravi. I am keeping an eye on this, and it is definitely a buy trade. So yeah, and as always, Ravi, I'll put it in the VIP Discord as soon as I enter it, entry, stop loss, everything. So yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye out for that. Looking at the fact that it's breaking down, I think it has a little bit more room to the downside. So we'll see. I have such a croaky voice today. What else are we looking at? What else are we looking at? Broder, you are from America. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Are you a Seattle? Is it Seattle Eagles? Who won the Super Bowl? There's a quick question. Yes, Seattle's not. It's not going to be called Seattle Seagulls. That's not very aggressive. Yes, Seattle Eagles. Is that correct? Can somebody please put me out my misery and tell me who it is? So, Broder, did you watch the Super Bowl? Okay, Dan Laguna's going for the indicator. Yeah, go for it. Why the hell not? Beshu present. I like this. Sounds like we're in the military. Beshu present. Right. Well, so we've got any other questions? Broder, US dollar yen short is working out nice. Yeah, Broder, are you part of the indicator? I'm assuming you are, judging by that comment. Yes, and I agree with this with Ravi. Yeah, so we spoke about the S&P earlier on, right? We were saying if you just look at the daily, it's trend exhaustion, right? If we go out, if we really zoom out, right? When something is trending, right, strongly, you know, it doesn't mess around, right? It's generally just, you know, small retrace, bang, and it just back on its merry way, right? That was tariffs, I think, and then back on its merry way. But now, right, things are looking like they're potentially slowing down, if not breaking down. All right, we haven't moved really between here and here. And like I said, we're getting these lower lows. That is a bit of a giveaway. Right, so it's going to be really interesting to see what reaction we get at these last highs. Will we get something like this? Now, again, I don't have a crystal ball, but the fact that I'm seeing these lower highs suggests there would be a bearish reaction here. All right, but we shall see. I wouldn't trade like that. You know, I would wait for a bearish reaction, then I trade. Right? I'm not going to trade based on an assumption I've made. I base my trades on cold, hard facts, like I do with every decision in my life. No, I'm not that bad. What else are we looking at? Okay, thanks. Yeah, you're welcome, guys. And as always, I appreciate all of your comments. Guys, I just wanted to get it clear. Tomorrow, there is not a live stream on YouTube, but what I am doing as part of the Discord channel, and specifically our VIP members, I am doing a group mentorship session tomorrow. Same time as the live stream, but we're doing it in the VIP Discord. So if you want to get involved in that, guys, join the Discord and then find out more about it. I will be back on YouTube on Thursday, same time, discussing all of my trades. And to be honest with you guys, when I was on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you know, I found I was discussing the same trades a lot. So by Thursday, you know, Tuesday to Thursday, we would have had some trades hit target, and we'll have some new trades. So yeah, I'll see you for that Thursday. But like I say, guys, excuse me, if you want to join us for the group mentorship, then please join the Discord and come join the VIP. Thank you very much for all of your questions and your time today. Hope you have a great trading day, guys, and I'll see you soon.